Rob Frazier here. Haven't done a video in forever. There's been like so many different things going on out in the world, my personal life, studying psychology. I yeah, there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I just wanted to actually get back into doing YouTube videos. So I don't even know what this video is called. This is just like an updated update. I don't know, but and there's a bunch of different things I wanted to talk about. Um, the biggest thing is I started making money back in was it 2000. Long story short, I was in six figures of debt. I had like $93,000 of past due child support. I was just behind taxes, everything. And I ended up paying it off through affiliate marketing through using a very specific plan. Now, once I paid off all of that money, however, I still had to pay taxes on the money that I used to pay down my debt. So, excuse me if I cough. Just had a whole bunch of ice cream. So, but I had to pay taxes on the money that I used to pay down the debt. So, needless to say, I didn't have money to pay the taxes. So I figure, well, I'll just keep promoting my businesses and take the money from the future businesses to pay the taxes. But a couple things. The program I was promoting crashed. The guy was sideways and did some crap, and the program went away. Got involved in a bunch of crypto deals. Got behind. I got behind in my marketing. I stopped doing what brought me to the party. I stopped making videos. I stopped buying traffic. I stopped working out. I stopped being disciplined. And I got involved with some people who were sideways, trying to make different deals and different things happen. So basically, my confidence, my money, everything took a major hit. Meanwhile, still having taxes and child support still to pay, and life still moving on. It's not going to slow down for your sad pity party. And so, just kind of went through a whole bunch of things, up, down, and it took me a while to kind of figure out, number one, what I did wrong, which is very easy. I stopped being disciplined. I stopped buying traffic. I stopped doing the things that I needed to do. I stopped making YouTube videos. If you follow me, you know that's one of my biggest things. My biggest regrets is uh, I stopped making regular YouTube videos. I stopped blogging. I stopped podcasting. And when you look at people who make a lot of money consistently online, they have a lot of content out there. They've been blogging for years. They've been doing YouTube videos for years. They've been podcasting for years. They don't start and stop. They just keep on going, and it's just a part of their daily method of operation. So, having learned all these lessons the hard way, I am now back. I never really went away, but I did kind of get a little shaky in what I was doing. The biggest thing is when I had debt, I had like $102,284.74. I can confirm this. There's even videos, or in my Power Lead System back office, I actually take my past due child support forms, and you can see the debt, and then you can see the date that it was paid off. This was before you can do AI generation and all this kind of stuff. But when I paid off the debt, I didn't have a plan for the money. That's the thing. It's like I did not have a plan for the money after I paid off the debt. And I got hit with taxes. So that was like two things that happened that slowed me down. When I first started making money, like significant money online, I actually went to a park in Carlsbad, sat down on the bench with a piece of paper, and wrote down the debt I was in, wrote down how much, exactly that I needed to pay it off, and it was $102,284.74. And I made a plan from that day on. And then I said, every time I make money, half of it is going to go to traffic, half of it is going to go in my pocket, and then this amount is going to go towards the debt. And I just stuck to the plan. And I don't know where you're at. I don't know if you ever heard of this, but when you're paying down debt, a lot of people say, oh, the snowball effect. Use the snowball effect, which means you pick the smallest debt, you pay it off quicker, or the debt with the highest interest. You pay that off first, And then once that's paid off, you take all that money and roll it to the next debt and roll it to the next debt. I used to feel that way. But what happened was when I was going through my issue and I paid down all of my debt, I still had taxes to pay on it. So basically, I still had taxes to pay on it after I got done paying all of my debt. After I was done, I had zero investments. I had zero crypto. I had zero anything else. My sole goal was just to pay down that debt. And then when I paid it all down, I had zero, zip, nada. And so it's like, I got to plan better in the future. So take all of that. Then, I'm studying psychology. I'm going to Grand Canyon. I got qualified for some more GI Bill money, so I'm using GI Bill to go to school. I'm reading a lot of Robert Greene's material, Laws of Human Nature, Mastery, Power. I'm reading a lot of Chase Hughes. Just learning a lot about money, psychology. I'm reading a lot of Robert Greene lately. I've been binge listening to his podcast. And all of that being said, kind of went through my own changes over the course of the past few years, because when you're not making money, it affects your confidence. And that just spills over in everything else. That spilled over my personal relationships, relationships with the lady that I married, relationships with family. I can do this, I can't do that. So just money just really chops you down if you're not making it. And if you don't have a plan for it. If you don't have a plan for it, you're not going to make it. And also I'm listening to all these, the Robert Kiyosaki's, and there's a lady I've been getting into. I think her name is Cody Sanchez. She talks about buying businesses. Dan Pena's information, how to buy businesses with zero money, all that kind of stuff. And the thing is, when you are starting out, it is hard to do the things that people who are successful are doing. So, for example, if a bodybuilder tells you, "Oh yeah, just start bench pressing," and he puts 225 pounds on a bar, it's like, hey, hold on. Let's just bench the bar for a little bit. And so there's always this huge disconnect between people who are counseling or educating and the beginner person. And I've always had that thought in my own head, even with marketing. I tell people, hey, go set up an autoresponder. And then a new person, what the heck is an autoresponder? Like that kind of stuff. So taking all of that, going back to the basics, the thing that kind of helped me, I came up with something called the Broke Man's Plan. Broke Man's Plan is something that you can do when you are broke. And it doesn't have to be just men. It can be a broke woman, broke person, broke whatever it is you want to be. But the idea is to not stay that way. So I say all that to say that I finally dialed in my plan. And it's a very simple plan. You can, choose to rock with me. You don't have to. But it's very simple. The idea is to, when money comes in, got to chop it up. It's something that I always told my kiddos. And this is something that I will take with me for a while. And it's like whenever your kids are hyper, when my kiddos were always hyper, I was telling them to shh and sitty down. I used to like to say that when my kids were younger. So basically, the idea is whenever money comes in, you chop it up. And you shh, sitty down. You be quiet or shut up and sit down. Sit your butt down. So what does that mean? When money comes in, I take a little bit. I send it to traffic. I slam traffic. I slam clicks. That's the shh. That's first. Automatically. Money comes in. Take the money. Send it to a percentage. A small percentage to buy traffic. SIT and the word sit. Save, invest, tithe. Now, invest is the new thing. And D down is paying down your debt. So when money comes in, I chop it up. I take like 20%, 15, 20%, buy traffic with it. The remainder, save, invest, tithe. So that's each 10. And then I use a little bit to pay my debt down. And then the rest goes in my pocket for various reasons. So when money comes in, I city down. Now, the whole plan, this I is absolutely critical and most important because I did not know what I was doing before with the money. When I made a lot of money in affiliate marketing, my highest week, I earned $20,000 in a week. And it's just like, I really didn't know what I was doing with the money because I just wanted to keep earning money. But that's the problem. If you say, I just want to earn $1,000 a week, you're always going to have to work. A lot of people say, oh, people get in affiliate marketing, network marketing because it's you're an entrepreneur. No, you're not. You're a 1099 affiliate, independent contractor at best, and you have to put so much work into this thing to make it work. So basically, if you join a business opportunity, you're giving yourself another job that doesn't necessarily pay well out the gate. So how do we get past that? And that's where this I comes in. And that's what I wish, this is what I wish I did when I was making all that money before. When I was making that $20,000 and then $5,000 a week, and then there's times I was spending $5,000 a week on traffic. $5,000 every single week. I would have to send the bank wire to the guy to buy traffic every single week because I didn't have a plan with the money. I sent it out to traffic, and as quick as the money came, the quickest the money went. And then when people wouldn't sign up, the money would go because I wasn't following this plan. Now, when money comes in, I invest a little bit. I buy dividend-paying stocks. I buy crypto. I buy gold and silver. I'm chopping that money up, and I have a plan. And it really doesn't matter, even if my affiliate marketing doesn't take off again like it was before. I'm doing other things to keep bringing the money in. You know, I got Uber because I need to write off as much taxes as I can. I say, how can I write off my vehicle? Well, if I drive for Uber, that could give me daily pay, which I could take that daily pay. I can buy traffic, daily pay. I can invest on a daily basis, keep buying dividend paying stocks. Also, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Yeah, this is my disclaimer. I'm not a tax guy. I'm not a finance guy. Do your own research. Don't invest because I said so. Do your own research. But Uber, independent contractor, and I drive just enough to pay the car, to pay the phone, to pay the insurance, and all the rest goes towards my sit my ass down plan. And this is something that I wish I did the first time. I would have ended up in a lot better position. My debt would have been paid off. I would have had a huge fat savings. I would have had a whole bunch of money invested that pays me back. That's like actual legit for real, not just fake internet bullcrap programs that disappear. I would have been donating. I would have had my debt down. I would have still been slinging traffic. My dog's barking. But yeah, I'm just wrapping this video up because I know it's kind of long, but that's just an update I wanted to put out there. Just something that I wish I did when I was making a lot of money in affiliate marketing. Same thing. I'm doing the same thing now. It's just, it's not just all affiliate marketing feeding the machine. I'm doing Uber. I'm doing junk removal. I'm doing handyman gigs. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. The money I get for disability, the money I get for GI Bill, it all goes into my city down. So whenever you get money, city down. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.